and lots of people in the PNC would dodge the question, but I hope you can do it as best as you can. There was recently a contest for leadership in the PNC, and there were factions. You had the Roysdale Ford group, and he made a lot of he raised a lot of questions. Then there was the Amansa, and you know Amansa is from Berbice, like you from Quarantine, right?
51,
yeah, from Leeds, right?
Leeds area, right.
You don't tell people you from Leeds too?
Yeah, so you had that faction. Then you also had the Aubrey Norton group, and they seemed to be worlds apart in terms of agreement on procedure and things like that. Mayor Narayan was on this program with me sometime, and he was very outspoken about his support for Roysdale Ford and what have you. Do you care to say which camp you were in and how you feel about the current leadership of the PNC?
Good. So, in terms of contest for the leadership, I am happy to be part of the PNC, and I am happy to be part of the last Congress. So, I want to say up front that the PNC practice democracy as it relates to contesting or electing leadership. The party constitution indicates that any member of the party can choose to run for leadership, and that was open. Prior to the announcement, we had person indicating like Dineshwar Jaiprashad, Yuvraj Narayan, Amansa, all Tandizir, Roysdale Ford,
Gary Best,
and others. I myself could have indicated that I want to challenge the leadership of the party, and there would have been no objection, right? But I'm saying this for the viewers to understand that the PNC open up for democracy. We have a choice to decide who becomes the leader whenever we have our Congress. Roysdale Ford and Amansa did not follow through in the contest. So I am saying that if Dineshwar Jaiprashad is saying that I am contesting for leadership of the party, I must go to the finish line. Don't laugh after X, Y, and Z, because it shows that something is not right. You are not ready, or you're just bluffing, or that might be.
They were saying the process is corrupted.
So they were in the process. I was in the process as well, and
you're satisfied.
I am
the process was.
I am satisfied. Okay. All right, and Roysdale could have carried through, and probably he could have gained a percentage of votes. So likewise, Honorable Amansa. So I'm saying that whatever is being said and told about these candidates pulling out might not be a true picture of what really happened. If you are pressing for the position, you should have taken the mantle to go to the finish line to say, here what happens. So many delegates are here. Let us go to the ballots and let us see what really happens.
So you are satisfied that the process was according to the Constitution that you know, and it was according to what obtained in previous Congresses.
Correct.
Okay, and you're settled on that.
Correct. Thank you.
Okay, so it is therefore safe to say that you are in full support of your current leader.
Yes, and Ford and Amansa are well in support of the leadership as well.
Okay, they are.
Right, because how to put it in simpler language, after the Congress, Ford and Amansa are still in the PNC. They are still in the capacity that they can be called upon for advice and suggestions.
But are they?
They are.
Okay. want to ask about, I'll come back to you personally and your activism, but just want to ask your opinion. Yesterday at the press conference of the VP, he announced that they had some program somewhere in Linden, and all of the office holders of the PNC did not attend, but the parliamentarian Figuera attended, and he was in high commendation for that, and so on. How do you feel about that type of thing?
In terms of Figuera attending the program?
Figuera attending, and he seemed to be drifting or what have you. How do you feel about that type of thing? Like, would you have done that?
I am a politician,
Mm-hmm.
and I am working for the state as a public servant.
Mm-hmm.
A minister comes to my region, the VP comes to my region, or the president comes to my region. As a politician, should I say no? The president is coming to my region, or the VP is coming to my region to establish a facility that will benefit the voters, the residents, the people of Berbice. Should I say no and stay away? I am representing the cause of my people. When I say my people, I mean Region 6. If this project will cause employment, will provide service to the people of Region 6, I am there.
Okay.
That doesn't make me a PPP.
What do
I
you
am
feel-
there. I
what
am
do you
there.
feel about the president of Guyana?
What do I feel?
Yeah, politically or otherwise. How
He's the president.
but
He's the president.
you think he's doing a good job?
Well,
As a president,
probably
yeah.
as we go down later on, we can answer that question.
Well,
Probably
as a
it's
public servant, you might not want to comment on that.
right?
but,
You know, the president is the president, right?
Understood.
And I have no, all the presidents that we have had did their part. And President Ali is doing his part.
All right.
So, you know,
I got a hard question.
as a public servant, I will ask that probably he put a little bit more in the purse for us so that we can, you know, benefit.
Okay.
And yeah, but no, before you go to that, Figuera is an individual. He's a teacher by profession. He's a politician. He's very much into sports and youth and development. Presenting himself there does not make him away from the PNC. If you follow what Jermaine has been doing quite a number of years, he's good into humanitarian and all these activities. Right? I have never seen him say that, okay, you alone will have and you will not have. He's there looking in the welfare of the people. So to come to a conclusion to say that he probably is drifting away, well,
it's not a conclusion.
you know, our assumption.
The man in the street is
Yes.
saying.
Well, the man in the street has a view, right to his view, but might not be the appropriate.
You may have the right to your opinion, but not necessarily the right opinion.
Correct. Thank you very much. Yes, sorry.
Freddie, you got some question?
What I want to go back, and I wanted to ask you that, but the conversation kept drifting, to use his word. Your parents were very active in the PNC during the Hoyt presidency, and they knew PNC leaders well.
You see what happened? When former leader died, 1985,
Yeah.
Desmond Hoyt
Yeah.
had a change in terms of administration of the country, basically. So some of the older folks in the PNC and so were, you know, backbench. And he had a new, primarily 80% of different, you know, cohort of individuals. So they worked through Comrade Height's time as well. They were there. Not so much into the work that was done during Comrade Burnham's time.
So your parents knew Burnham
Yes.
and worked with Burnham?
Yes.
Okay. Were they high profile PNC?
No. My uncle was a high profile PNC.
Well, he was the
He
main.
was coordinator for the Old Branded Quarantine District.
on the Burnham.
On the Burnham.
And it continued with her.
With Criminalite.
Okay, but
Yes.
have you seen growing up? Have you seen your mother and father? Did you see PNC bigwigs visiting your home, or when your mother and father went to visit PNC bigwigs, did they take you along with them?
Well, we never visit bigwigs to say, right? I know few of the ministers would, when they visit the areas, visit my uncle. We had opportunity to see them and so. But I can't personally recall that time visiting any,
Okay.
yeah. So we are not in the high-ranking profile PNC.
You have become that, though.
Yeah, but
You have become that. You represent Berbice in Parliament.
Because of
from
the
PNC
association,
side.
because of the association of my parents and uncle, and so caused me to propel in the way.
Your uncle is still alive?
Yes, he's overseas.
And your parents?
Yeah, they are alive.
And they in Port Moran?
Port Moran.
Okay. You still live 2 houses from
No.
Jagan?
I moved away from there.
So
Yeah. So my grandfather house where I born, my parents born, is 2 houses away from.
And it's still there?
Still there.
And the Jagan house is still there?
Still there.
Right?
Still there. Yes.
So who lives in the Jagan house would now be a heritage building?
Yes. No, there's someone living there taking the caretaker.
Living in the house?
Yes, living in the house, looking after the premises. The building is there, the yard is there, and
It's well kept. There's
yes, it's very good.
vandals don't go into the place.
No,
Has security and
no security.
okay.
Yeah, it's a building that we were hoping that the BB people will adapt and try to make it a resource center or provide some service and so, but it's done. A few individuals were contemplating and making it a internet hub for the people of Port Moran, primarily Yankerville, but nothing to that effect.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a PNC, but this is one of the greatest hero we have had. This is his birthplace, his home, and to some more work could have been put there to beautify it and make it a site for tourists and
Heritage.
that effect.
Well, the 2 of you are Berbicians. I am outside of that. I'm born and grew in a city in South Georgetown. So I will leave the 2 of you to decide what are the needs of Berbice and where Berbice should go. So I hand over back to Leonard.
All right. So, in your time in the PNC and in Port Moran, have you seen, and it shouldn't be limited to Port Moran, but the wider catchment area, whether you include Hampshire, Rose Hall, and those other, the wider catchment area, have you, during any time, whether rise and wane or whatever, seen growth in support for the PNC?
I would say yes. Good. So in the earlier days, Port Moran, the Port Moran Johns NDC is predominantly East Indian. And they have had control of the NDC for a long time. 2016, we started the process of campaigning and fighting for election and so local government, and we were able to have a seat in 2016, which was a plus. Cherry Jagan board place, Port Moran, PNC having a seat under my watch. So basically, we are saying that support is coming. What happens is that the nagging and the name calling and the slangs and so are very much alive with many of our support people. So what we don't do is we don't keep political meeting in Port Moran and bottom house meeting and ask them to come and to support and do this and so, because we know when they go back they have to mingle and live with what will come their way. I I'm saying this because it is a perception that we are supposed to have 100% of, votes for PPP. The last election, we had 300 plus votes from Port Brant alone for Apto AFC, which is good for me, I should say. Because in terms of the ethnicity, and so if you want to call it that way, we are Indians, and to move people from the traditional way of voting for the PPP and to have 300 plus voters quietly without anybody making any big stir and move is not bad business. We have had increase, I would say, in many areas and decrease in many areas. Region 6 was the only region we lost about 2,000 votes the last election.
You're talking about 2020?
2020. Many...
2,000 votes?
Yes, 2,000
over
votes.
2015 numbers?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, sir. 2,000 less than 2015. So many attributed to the closure of the sugar estate, but when we look at it, it was not that much in relationship to the sugar estate, because the PPP projected that the 7,000 voters will be affected because of the closure, and we just dropped 2,000. It means and that people who were affected still voted for AP and UFC. So we know how election goes. It will fluctuate. Votes will increase and decrease either for or against. We should not be static, basically.
Okay, continue.
Yes, you can. Yes. So there are other areas that we increase a few votes there, a few votes there that were not basically traditional. Some areas we drop because,
Aubrey Norton had said that he is happy to go again with the AFC, but if the AFC does not go with APNU, he believes APNU can win the election outright in 2025. What are your thoughts on that? Knowing Berbice and where you are, and you need, for that to occur, you need to have an increase in Berbice at least.
Everywhere, not Berbice alone. So looking at the political trends from the 1960s to now, votes do cross over. Coalition or we are happy that we are in a coalition, up to AFC. But if we can achieve that to go to the next election, then we will go individually.
Do you think the party could win?
As the politician, anyone can. It's a big time from now to election. Whenever the date is set, we will see what will happen. But I am optimistic that there is a possibility that the PNC will have more support if they go separate from the AFC.
So
No. I want to process. Okay, go ahead.
You are saying if you have PNC on its own entering the election,
PNC
and you have APNU AFC.
No.
The PNC alone.
Put it together. Apnu.
Without the AFC.
Yeah, without the AFC.
Will get more votes. People will vote more for that single formation APNU rather than APNU plus AFC.
No. People will vote more for
APNU rather than APNU plus AFC.
No. Rather than AFC having their portion. So let's see.
The name of the group is APNU plus AFC. That's the legal name of a political party.
Correct.
Now you are saying if there is a political party contesting the election named APNU, it will get more seats than a political party named APNU plus AFC.
No. So my take is, if we go together, APNU, AFC, we will win the election. My conviction. There's a long time from now to next election. A lot of work can be done. 23 years, 2015, 23 years, 2011, 2011, 2015, 2015, 2020. Nobody's permanent here, basically. Our voters are getting more wise. And they are seeing what is happening on both sides. And we are hoping that they will use that judgment when the time of voting comes. I am saying that if APNU goes separately.
Yeah, that's what Mark's saying.
And AFC goes separately. The portion that the AFC will have on the APNU AFC
We'll go to APNU.
no, will be less if AFC contests by themselves.
So what you're saying, you separate, but then you put together afterwards, it's more.
Good. So what I'm saying is that we go together and we have
10 votes.
10 votes. 7 to PNC and 3 to AFC. Let us work with
And
it.
you go separately where you get.
And we go separately. We have 9-1.
Okay.
Oh, that is what you mean.
Yes.
Oh, AFC, AP, and you will increase their
Yeah, but that's what
numbers within
but that's what it was actually. We got caught in the vortex of the conversation.
yes.
But that's what he said.
Yes.
And that's what I understood you to mean. There is a party called APNU plus AFC.
Yes.
If there's a party called APNU and it contests by itself, right? It will get more votes than if AFC contests by itself. Is
Correct. Yes.
So what he's saying, the two together.
We'll win the election. We'll have 10. We'll have 10. And if we contest separately, the 10 will be divided into 9-1. So I'm speaking the reality of what is happening. So probably.
Excuse me?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to go where my mind is going. But I thought you were. You know where I thought you were going? I thought you were going to say, look, if we go together, we'll get 10. But if we go separately, we will get 9 plus 2, which is 11. When you said you will get more votes, but what you're actually saying, inside of the configuration, the PNC's dominance will be larger. In other words, AFC's dominance and role inside of the configuration. Once they separate
I think both of you are losing. I think both of you are losing me. I wonder if I could come back to something.
No,
anyway.
I think we are on target.
No. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. That,
Yes.
in other words, AFC is sliding.
I know he said
And
that, yeah.
Yes.
among this group of supporters that are going to vote for APNU AFC, the group, a larger amount will vote for the PNC separately.
What I wanted him to be unambiguous and pellucid about is the AFC. So you have no coalition named APNU AFC in 2025, and AFC goes on its own. Do you see any electoral gains for them, electoral vibrancy, or are they going to have less seats if they go on their own? I think that's what you're saying, right? But I want,
You see what happened? I cannot generalize for the EFC. I am not the EFC. But the way I am seeing it, that PNC, which I have authority to speak on, will increase our support base.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I'm not the AFC member. We are in together in Parliament as a coalition, but probably that question can be directed to the AFC bracket.
Since you are in opposition, you think the PNC has done enough to win the election, as you so confidently said that the PNC will win, or the APNU AFC will win if they go together? You think they've done sufficient since?
I think what the PPP
2020?
is doing will make the opposition win the next election.
Expand.
Every region, we are seeing so many things happening. The quality, the pricing, and the man in the street talking about the amount of money he spent. So, in a nutshell, if the PPP continues like this for the next year, then we know what will happen at the election time. There are so many disgruntled citizens in this country at this moment, disagreeing with what the PPP is doing, and those they will vote against the current administration. To be more specific, there are areas in quarantine, traditional PPP areas, whereby PPP will be losing their support. There will be crossover votes. To put it, quality of work. The roads are being built everywhere. The quality of the road is a problem. The specification that I mentioned, and we have moved away from two-way traffic, Sand Dam and Crush and Run Dam and Red Brick Dam, to one-way concrete traffic. How do we measure that in progress? You are taking away a street whereby two vehicles can pass side by side, and you are building a road, 12-inch thick, solid, good road, 8 feet wide, that the other vehicle has to reverse when this one is coming. Are we moving that way? Is that progress? Instead of doing one road that two vehicles can pass and let the other road wait 6 months or whatever, and we do another good project, are we changing the direction basically, that we will make the villages one way, that you drive in this way and come out the other way? If that is the plan, then that could work. But if we are still will be having two-way traffic in all the streets and so, then that is a problem. I'm saying this because I do not know who designed these areas, but this is a concern for the residents. So your yard level is already below the road, and you're giving me 12 inches of solid concrete above that what you have. When it rains, what will happen to you?
So what it sounds like to me is like the PNC is not running on what they can
Do for the people?
But no, they're hoping for a population that is disenchanted. And a disenchanted population does not necessarily mean they will vote the other way.
All right.
That might be not a good strategy.
Well, you put it out nicely, but the reality is that
reality and nicety are two different things.
Yeah, the reality is that it is not in my capacity to say the plans of the PNC for the next election. Good. We have.
But it's our duty to probe you, though.
Yes, you can. But I can choose to not to. The reality is that we have a plan for Guyana comes next election.
Yeah, but you are not convincing me of the plan that you have. Your leader goes to press conference every week, and as much as okay, so let me just be frank on something. For the last 3 months, you play back every press conference of the vice president, and he keeps saying these people got no policy, these people got no plans. These people got no policy, these people got no plan. These people got no... Every single one of them. He keeps saying that.
And you believe that?
Hold on. What I'm saying now is that I have not seen any evidence from the PNC that is not so.
All right, let me tell you about the PNC. Were you a member of the PNC?
Never.
Okay. The PNC...
Give him a membership card.
I'm willing to give him a form. No, I can't give him a membership card. I can't give him a form. He got to apply for it.
Right.
Yes, I'll give him an application form.
You'll give him when the show finish.
The PNC laid the foundation for this country, basically. So if you are to say that VP said that the PNC not doing X, Y, and Z, we got to check on those
but
statements.
they laid the foundation when?
Good. So here what happens. The PNC laid the foundation for NIS.
Okay. Hold for me.
Let go.
Okay.
Many people went wrong and said that was a bad move. Comes back today that it was something of substance. Okay. Infrastructural work were laid when money was not there. Had no IMF, no IDB, no oil. So basically, to say that we have not done, the PNC ideology is to build. University of Guyana started it under Dr. Jagan and expanded under Comrade Barnum.
I hear you, but here I'm going at. I'm talking about...
2020 to now?
Not necessarily, but yes, I am talking about this. We already have NIS, we have Bank of Guyana, we have these places, we have that. We've had them for years, we see their benefit, whatever. PPP did housing program, PNC did some, we see all of that. But this is a new dispensation in a sense that oil is a game changer for national development. And it means that you would have to rejig a lot of things. So your plan that you had in 2011 and 2015 might very well have to be rejigged in major ways. And what I'm talking about are plans and policies from now on going forward to take Guyana into, figuratively into Dubai. But they probably not even figurative, because I heard something was signed that we can just fly to Dubai now. Anyway, but that is what I'm talking about. 2025, beyond, I have not seen the plans.
Okay. Well, the plans will come out at the right time. The plans will come out at the right time. And what is happening now, the AP and UAFC, if we go together for the next election, the manifesto will indicate what really we will do. Every sector will see transformation. Every sector in this nation will see transformation. Wages and salaries, living condition, all these we have plans that we will improve. We heard people talk about, what they will do. I can recall VP when he was in opposition, he indicated that public servants should have 50% or 20%, and he's in office now. And we see the plight of the public servant. Why is it that, when in opposition you had the authority to say X, Y, and Z, and when you are in government, you cannot, So are those plans and promises were figuratively on paper to capture the votes, or the reality is a different one? We got to look at it from so many perspectives. But basically, the PNC will work on the wages and salaries for all. There is enough money for all Guyanese. We do not want a handful to control basically everything that happens. I cannot give in terms of a percentage wise, but there will be increases to public servants and across the board, private sector as well, because we know cost of living is very much a sore issue for all of us. Prices that were there 2015, 2020 is not there now. There isn't any price control basically, so
I hear you on what you're saying, and just to move off the topic a bit, or just to conclude from my part, unless you want to respond. That is the basic problem I have with the opposition. They use their plans as talking points, just talking points, as you say, salary is going to be increased and so on, just talking points, but it is not concrete. 1 year away from the election, going into an election, a year would be out. I think people want concrete plans with numbers, figures, and so on that they can dissect and that makes sense. And all I'm saying that is the aspect of opposition that I am not seeing, and that is why I am saying that your predictions about winning the election as a joint slate is not realistic.
Okay, so you're talking about figures. If you look at the trend 2015 to 2020, let us take salary increase. If you look at the trend 2015 to 2020, if that trend had continued 2020 to now, people will be having a different lifestyle. So you can't say that you're not seeing figures. Figures were there, government change, figures change. So
yeah,
don't you think that if this figure was there 2015 to 2020 and government change, should there be a change of government? Better figures that
but
should we say it? Should we commit now to say that, okay, come next election, we will give you 35% increase and you will have X, Y, and Z, and when we get into office, we can't afford to give. No, the economists and the analysis have to do whatever they have to do so that they will come up with the necessary information for us to put in the manifesto and share with the people. That's basically what I can say. So I disagree with you in terms of the numbers. Probably you're looking for a manifesto number or, a plan. But numbers were there. Under David Granger's administration, numbers were there. Show the scale of increase that was given. I want to say thanks again for inviting me, and I do look forward for your invitation in the near future.
Oh, you will definitely have that for sure. You were watching our guest, Honorable Member of Parliament, Dineshwar Jaiprashad, Shadow Minister for Labour. He represents Berbice in Parliament from the People's National Congress. Co-hosting the program with me for the first time was Leonard Craig. Mr. Craig has indicated that he's available to co-host other programs, and I can assure our guests, the Member of Parliament, that there will be future invitations. Please take care of yourself. We'll see you on Wednesday evening. Have a pleasant Monday evening. Bye-bye. Catch you.